Matthew, we've got, well, you've had a busy week. Last week we were in Doncaster where Hash had his first 6-rounder, and what I'm getting used to saying all the time, another very good performance by himself.
Very good performance, an improving fighter, someone I really like as a person, and he's an improving fighter. Great on the eye, great to watch.
That's
and I thought he was excellent, mate. I really did. Again, another 6th round under his belt against one of the top journeymen, Lee Hallett. These fellas are the top journeymen. They don't get stopped.
No.
More learning for him, more rounds, and he picked up a few more fans. Everyone was really impressed with him. He's getting good support, so it was excellent.
It's fair to say he's almost stole the show, because even though we had a brilliant fight, we had Levi Smith against Daryl Tatsumi, which was a fantastic fight. But arguably the best actual performance, even though Jake Goodwin got a stoppage, the best performance I think for me was Hash.
Yeah, and that's good to hear. Someone with not a lot of amateur experience behind him, someone who's improving, but someone I just get a feeling who's got something, who's going to do well and going to do some damage. He's had 5 fights so far. Hash is very strong, powerful. And I keep saying, I think he's gonna turn out and do something. I mean, he's gonna be a danger man. I really do.
He makes great angles in there, and he's always busy, and that's what I like. He never relaxes, even if he's in total control of the fight. He puts his foot to the pedal to the floor every single time. He just gives a little bit more, and I was surprised that he kept the pace that he started the fight all the way through to the end, considering he's never done 6 rounds before.
Absolutely, and I think he can build on that. I think he can increase the pace even further. He's got that kind of style, and we keep building his stamina and that belief in his fitness, which he's getting more now, and he's going to be a handful for people to fight. Really,
and he is. He's back in the gym today. So
he was back.
Not the perfect pro for you?
He is a great lad. I told him, as I always do, take a few days off. It's important to have downtime in. Monday, there he is, outside the door waiting. Can't ask for more. Great attitude.
And not this Saturday, but the week on Saturday, you've got a very busy night for yourself. You've got young Campbell over in Liverpool, having fight number 10 against, I don't know too much about the opponent, but when a guy, he's got a winning record, I think he's 6-2-1. But normally, you'd look at that, and normally those losses have come after some of those wins. But it's not. That's not the case. He started with a loss, and then a draw, and then a loss. His last 4 fights have all been wins. So it seems like another opponent to pick for Campbell, who's still a learning fighter.
Absolutely, and I don't think Campbell has been matched soft, far from it. Campbell's been in some good matchups against guys with winning records. Again, this opponent was put to us. Didn't start off great, but who's unbeaten in his last 4, won his last 4 fights against decent opposition. Comes to fight. He's not a runner, he's not a mover. He'll come to have a fight with Campbell, and
it'll be playing to Campbell's hands.
Absolutely, yeah. I have no worries when someone comes to have a fight with Campbell. He's not lacking in them areas, so I think this will be a fun fight, an entertaining fight. And Campbell's been great in training camp for this one. Probably the best I've seen him. Really filled out recently. Really filled out, getting stronger, and we're starting to see him get that man strength now. So I'm expecting a good performance from Campbell next week.
Because I think he's at a stage now where if he has a good 2023, I presume towards the end of it, or certainly in 2024, then that's when you've got to look at going for the title.
Yeah, again, keeping him busy this year, but there's some good local matches and some good kids around his weight, and they're the matches that we'll start looking towards probably back end of the year.
And the reason why I'm down here, we've got a great fight for Luke Evans, a kid again with a winning record. In fact, 2 out of his last 3 fights he's won. And we know, because the loss in between those 2 wins was against a VIP fighter in Jake James. But he asked questions of Jake, certainly in the middle part of the fight. So this is a great opportunity for for Luke to tell everyone to look at me.
Yeah.
Because he's been, because of inactivity and things that have just caught him. I mean, he fought Ruston, was it last July, was it, summer?
Yeah, sounds about right, yeah.
Where he got a nasty cut.
Yeah,
but
broken
controlled
nose
the
too.
fight and was really good in the fact that he suffered the cut. Was it late on in the third round, was it?
It was late on in the first. Broken nose as well.
So even though, and he won every round. So when you take that into consideration, a very good performance, even though he didn't come out looking too pretty.
Yeah, I always look at fights, and people have questioned Luke's character in the past, and his last 2 fights, he's not shown the skills that Luke's a boxer. Luke's very skillful, and I think he's lost that a little bit, and we don't want to lose that. Luke is predominantly a boxer. At the MEN, when he was on the Matchroom show, got put down twice, recovered from it, and got a draw, a deserved draw. Many people thought he nicked it.
What impressed me in that fight is when he did get put down, it was a heavy put down, was it?
Yeah.
The middle of the 4th round, was it?
It was 2nd and the 4th, I think.
Yeah, there was one of them that was a heavy one, so I think it was the 4th
that was the
one.
4th one.
Yeah, the 4th round.
Yeah.
But he actually went on and bossed that round and then controlled the final round.
Yeah.
So again, even though it was his first blemish on his record in getting a draw, it ticked a lot of boxes, and certainly must have ticked a few for you.
Absolutely. Again, he showed a lot of character, and again in his last fight, suffered a nasty cut, a broken nose, and boxed very, very well. So again, showed character in that, but very, very important that Luke goes back to his boxing. He cannot lose that. He's predominantly a boxer, such a skillful fighter. He's got to use that. And this fight against Zamora, you know, we're looking at championship fights now for Luke. These are fights where if you're not quite at that level, you could get found
exposed.
out. But if Luke's as good as we think he is, and we all believe he is, and we know he is, you know, Luke's got the ability. This is a fight he's got to win and show he's ready to take that step to the next level. But it's certainly not an easy fight for Luke. No. He's got to be at his best.
Not an easy fight for him, and not an easy night for you.
No, going to be a busy night. That Campbell's going to be on early in Liverpool, and then I'll be straight in my car, and then down to Luke in Bolton. So a busy night.
Well, I'm just about to watch you put them through the paces. I presume it's final few hard days for Luke.
Yeah, it's been a busy period. This is Luke and Campbell will both be doing their last hard day together tomorrow. We'll be doing the body belt, bar bag circuit, so it'll be
back to old school.
Back to the old school, back on the pain train.
Days.
Yeah, back on the pain train tomorrow. But like you say, it's been a busy period. Got young Jack fighting on Saturday as well.
I'm going to be going down there. I'm going to try and film it before our show on the Saturday evening.
Yeah, I'm really looking.
First Northwest Regional Final, isn't it?
Absolutely. So Jack's looking very, very well. He's got a very good record. He's working so hard. He's improving. He's enjoying his.
Was he about 13-1 now? Is it something?
13-1, yeah. To be honest, he's won all his fights. Really, he did get. He suffered a ridiculous decision on one of them. But the most pleasing part of his, again, it's you're looking at things in fighters and you're looking at the character. He lost the fight, he was ripped off, he was robbed, it was a terrible decision. And then he bounced back so strongly the week after, and it's been put behind us and moved on.
When I filmed him, was it the semi-final that I filmed him last time at the 147 Club?
Yes, yeah.
And he's becoming quite spiteful.
He is, you tell me about it. I was sparring with him yesterday. Bloody hell, he was getting stuck into me, mate. He really was.
He's a skinny little polite kid, but actually he's pretty vicious when he gets in there.
Yeah, I've always said it in boxing. Looks can be deceiving. You can see some guys and you think, oh, he looks tough, and in reality they're not, and vice versa. You can see some kids covered in freckles.
Use it as an advantage, because people look at him and think, oh, I'm in for an easy night, and then find out that they're not.
Yeah, absolutely. He's got a good engine, Jack. He throws a lot of leather. He has got a nasty little streak in him, so he's not going to be an easy match for anyone. And like you say, he's fighting on Saturday, and hopefully he can pick up his first title and move on. I'm looking forward to it.
Your Ricky calls him, is he known as the problem child?
You know what, Lee? He's been a pain in the arse since the day he's born. He really has. What a character. He really is. But he's taken to the boxing so well, and To say he studies it, mate, he comes in all the time, and he was watching Luke spar the other day, and I'm sat next to him, and he's telling me this, that and the other, and he's learning very quickly. He's got a good boxing brain, and he uses it on fight night as well, so I'm dead happy with him, and boxing's been great for him. Again, it's worked its magic, you know, his confidence has gone through the roof, give him discipline, something to focus on, and he's loving it.
Yeah, well, that's the most important part.
Absolutely.
You know? But he's loving it, and he's winning, and hopefully he gets his first North West regional title, and maybe he'll go on to be a national champion. Who
knows yet? Fingers crossed. You know, whatever. You're in it to win it. You know, it's he's doing very well. He works hard, and let's see how he does. But he's doing really well at the minute.
Yeah, and this is realistically, since he had his first bout, is it less than a year?
He's not been boxing a year, believe it or not. Amazing how quickly he's come on, and you know, I've got to give a lot of appreciation. Obviously, I do a hell of a lot of work with him. Ricky does a heck.
Spoiled, isn't he?
Yeah,
he's spoiled, isn't he? He's got his uncle, you know, he's surrounded by quality in the gym with all the lads that he gets to watch and move around with.
Nice lads in the gym like Luke. You know, after we finished our session, Luke got the ladders out and was doing some little footwork drills with him. He's at a great club in Tameside Elite. You know, Steve Brady, Danny Benson, Steve Buckley. They've got some great coaches down there. Give him so much time, and I'm very appreciative to everyone. And I tell him he's spoiled, but he's making the most of it and working hard. So
and you don't mind, do you?
No, absolutely.
Matthew, it's always a pleasure. Let's go to the.
Let's get some work done. Yeah.
I'll see you in a bit, mate.
Nice one, Lee.
Nice one, mate. Thank you.
For all boxing info, news, and latest interviews, amateur and pro across the north, click and subscribe. VIP Boxing Promotions. Also, Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook.